All right, as the majority of 130 FBS schools prepare for postseason play, the harsh reality at UCLA is that they're preparing for a big National Signing Day, the first of two, 6 days away at UCLA and the nation from National Signing Day, the first one on December 19th. We bring in Tony Siracusa from Last Word on College Football to help us sort out Chip Kelly's second class and first full cycle in the books. Tony, how you doing this afternoon?
Hey, Mark, always good to be with you.
Absolutely. So we can put the numbers, we'll throw them out there, we'll allow people to digest them, and then we'll put them into context. People are not going to be happy to follow UCLA football to see a number 66 current ranking, according to 247 Sports, only 10 hard commits. I lay that out there for you to then interpret and put into context and inch some people off of the ledge.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of people on the ledge. I think you have to start with the fact that UCLA is not losing a lot of players, first of all. They're only losing 10 off the entire roster, and a lot of those are not even starters or players who played a major factor in the 2018 season. They're losing 10 players off both sides of the ball, so they don't have a lot of holes to fill. That means that they're recruiting not for immediate need for the first time in a lot of years. They're recruiting for depth and development down the road, even the 2020 season, we'll say. They're losing Wilton Speight at quarterback. Obviously, Speight wound up playing a bigger role than anyone thought he would, so that's a big loss. They're losing running backs Soso Jamabo and Bolu Olorunfemi, neither of whom turned out to be a significant factor in the 2018 season at all. They're losing wide receiver Christian Pabico, who, was a contributor, but they're very deep at wide receiver. And they're losing a couple of defensive backs, Nate Metters and Darius Pickett. Pickett is a significant loss, and they're losing their punter, Stefan Flintoff. So that really is the depth of their losses. They are losing tight end Caleb Wilson, who declared early for the NFL draft. They're covered at that position. They're deep at the position with Devin Asiasi, but Wilson was a favorite target for both Dorian Thompson-Robinson as well as Wilton Speight, kind of like a safety blanket there for both of them. So that part is a significant loss. But really right now, that's it. They could lose left tackle Andre James. Maybe he'll declare early for the draft. I doubt it. Wide receiver Theo Howard is still kind of out there. He's been very quiet, could declare for the draft. I don't think he will. But the news for UCLA right now is they're returning their entire starting offensive line intact, which for UCLA, that's a rarity, and it's good news because this is an offensive line that for the first time in years actually generated a rushing game with Joshua Kelly at running back. So there's actually some momentum there for UCLA.
All right, we got Tony Siracusa on the line from Last Word on College Football, breaking down UCLA's recruiting class. And, of course, we've got two signing periods now, one in February, the traditional stop the first Wednesday of the month. And, of course, we are 6 days away from what has become the primary signing period. None of us knew what to expect this time last year, going into the first go-around of the early signing period, but just about 75 to 80% of the Power 5 players were signed in December, and UCLA's looking at what, Tony? They've got 10 hard commits right now. Right. It should land in the 20 range, something in that category.
Yeah, they've got 10 commits right now, and we're looking at they'll probably get to 20. I don't think they're going to fill all 25 right now. Right now the priority is quarterback, because you've got Dorian Thompson-Robinson coming back. He is the leader, obviously, in the quarterback race, but you don't have anything behind him. He's going to be a true sophomore. We're not sure if Matt Lynch comes back, for his senior season at UCLA, or if he moves on somewhere else and continues to hold the clipboard on the sidelines. He really is not effective running a spread offense. So you really need two quarterbacks right now if you're UCLA, because in this day and age, you know how things work, Mark. If you got two freshmen coming in, you're not sure both of them are going to stay, being content being only one class behind Thompson Robinson. And so you got to get two. Maybe even you wind up pulling a grad transfer or a JC player from somewhere else to go with a freshman. Right now, they've got Chase Griffin, who's a three-star quarterback from Hutto, Texas. He's got mind-blowing stats in terms of yardage and touchdowns. I mean, he's throwing for more than 4,000 yards in a season. He had very few offers, frankly, because he's 5'10", 190 pounds. Um, Smart field leader. Coaches love him. Scouts love him. Bit more of a pro style offense that he ran, which is kind of strange to see a guy who's 5'10", 190 running more of a pro style offense. But he is really good. He's got a strong arm in the pocket, good field sense. He committed back in June, is the Gatorade Texas Player of the Year, for all of Texas. So that's, we can talk about his size, but let's not diminish who and what he is. The kid can play. He's an early enrollee, or will be, so he'll be there in January. Now, they have an offer out to a second quarterback, Jaden Daniels, who's one of the more coveted dual threat quarterbacks in the entire country. He's out of Cajon High School in San Bernardino here in Southern California. About a month ago, we judged that they had zero chance to get him. He was down to Arizona State and Utah. UCLA has picked up a lot of ground lately. They're very much in the mix right now, gaining a lot of steam. He's expected to announce, frankly, any day now. Could even be, while you and I are recording this. He's expected to announce, and UCLA has picked up a lot of momentum. They're very much in it. If they get him, then they've picked up two freshmen, and like I said a few minutes ago, who knows if you're able to keep both freshmen in the mix for a long period of time when both are, one class behind Thompson Robinson, but we'll see.
All right. In regards to what you've seen basically on tape, what you've heard from some of the people that you trust in regards to this class, these players, who may stand out in regards to guys that you like? I know you touched upon the two quarterbacks, and it's easy to go down the star rankings and assume that you like the guys at the top, but maybe some nuances of some guys that you like coming into the fold.
Well, the first obvious one is Sean Ryan, and he is a four-star recruit that they just got a commitment from a couple days ago. He's a 6'5", 300-pound offensive lineman from San Juan Capistrano here in Southern California. He is the lone four-star recruit in this class so far. What you like about him is just his pure size and the athleticism that goes with the size when you watch him on film. I mean, we've seen a lot of film on this kid already. He already squats 500 pounds and benches over 350. But the kid has got great footwork for someone his size. So while UCLA returns the entire offensive line intact right now, the starting offensive line, you look at this kid's going to be in the mix for snaps in terms of depth probably right away. They're pulling in a couple of other offensive linemen, to your point, where it's not really so much reliant on the stars, but what you see when you watch these kids. There's a kid out of Hawaii, Duke Clemens, who could be one to watch. He's 6'3". He's only 268 pounds right now, small for an offensive lineman, but he's got really good footwork. He's got really good lateral movement when you watch him. He needs to put on some weight. That much is clear, but the fundamentals are there. The handwork is there, keeping the hands in tight while you're moving laterally. So the fundamentals are there. It's just a matter of bulking him up. Chip Kelly has had a long history of recruiting kids from Hawaii and having some success with those guys. So Duke Clemens could be an offensive lineman in this class to watch. They also, we think, are going to get a kid named Carl Jones. He's listed as an athlete, one of the top ones in the country, a 6'1", 195-pound athlete out of Bakersfield. He's a three-star recruit, but he just decommitted from Colorado 2 days ago, right after he got his in-home visit from UCLA. So, if you connect the dots, we think that there's something there. So we think that those are a couple of guys to watch for. There's another offensive lineman, Bo Taylor from Bishop Gorman here in Southern California, 6'5", again, 286. He needs to put on some weight. But when you're recruiting at this point, you have the luxury, if you will, of recruiting for depth and development in the offensive line. These are guys who can be a factor down the road.